1.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with pancreatitis. It is a severe case of ulcerative colitis where your whole colon is covered in ulcers. I was shocked, considering I had a very healthy diet. And then, everything changed. Today I can tell you one thing. Anything is possible. You can reverse this illness and live a healthy, happy life. Follow me for my story. Hey everybody, lovely to have you back. Today we are going to talk about colonoscopy, and I'm sure majority of us that suffer from IBD know what colonoscopy is. But for those that only just discovered my little channel and would like to find some comfort in my experience with colonoscopy, I would strongly recommend watching this little video to tell you my thoughts and my feelings about the whole experience. I'm not going to talk about my experience during my second colonoscopy after 2 years from being diagnosed, because it was quite pleasant in a sense of me knowing that my guts were actually clear, and how I felt, the confidence that I had was extremely bumped up by the fact that I knew that I was healing. The first time I was completely deteriorated, not only mentioning that I've lost 15 kilograms of weight and I was malnourished, I was desperate to find out what is happening with my intestines. I will record a different video telling you exactly how I felt before the colonoscopy in terms of the months before, and how was the build-up up to that treatment. So for me, I personally was desperate to find out what was going on with me, and with joy I drank the magic potion which you receive from your nurse or your doctor, and you will know everything step by step, how to drink it, how early, how late, and all the instructions, all the manual will be attached to that powdered potion which you will mix with water at home, and you just sip through the day before you go for colonoscopy. Was it pleasant? I don't think so. It was quite difficult to drink it because the flavor was just reminded me of washing up liquid. The smell as well, it was supposed to be orangey, kind of lemonade-y. Don't get me wrong, this wasn't fizzy or anything, it's just the color just reminds you of a nice lemonade, even the smell, but the second you drink it you just go, oh my gosh. But it's survivable, and I'm sure if you're just preparing yourself for colonoscopy, you'll be just fine. And the things that I really wanted to talk about is the feeling around the people in the room, how the doctor talks to you, and just the feel of the camera inside your intestines. So the next day, after you prepare yourself with the orange liquid, you arrive in your hospital quite early for the appointment. I know some people that had later colonoscopies, but I think then you start drinking your potion a little bit later in the day before, so more for the night time. I had it during the whole day, and then the next morning quite early I arrived to the hospital, and you find yourself in the hospital. They give you a little room, you have your own personal space and your own private bathroom, just in case. And you just wait for the doctor to come and contact you, communicate with you, say hello, and tell you how the treatment will look. I think this was a very important point. because this was my first time where I actually met my doctor, and she became my leading doctor during my whole 2 years build up to the second colonoscopy. This was our first meeting, and this is where it started. So we had a little chat, how I'm feeling, and she just warned me that it's going to be quite busy in the room and that I'm going to have a student, so you might chat with your doctor if there are any students coming for your treatment. Obviously they have to learn somehow, and personally I didn't mind. And the only thing that you have to worry about, if you actually worry about things like that, is that you might find yourself in a room full of men, male doctor, and the assistants and the students, everyone will be males. Or if you are a man, you might find yourself with a lot of women during the test. So personally I didn't mind. For me the most important was to find out what's wrong. So I strongly advise you to do the same, not to worry. Everyone is extremely professional. Everyone wants to help you and reassure you that everything will be fine. Everyone explains you everything, especially the doctor that's leading through the whole examination. So when you enter the room, they ask you to lie down on your left side, and you have a screen, a massive screen in front of you while you are lying on that left side, so you will be able to see through what's happening in your intestines, which I find extremely cool. But when I had my first examination I was very scared, and I refused to look at the screen until the doctor actually insisted me on looking to show the horrible ulcers. And there we go, my baby woke up. Just give me a second. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this video, so fingers crossed. He's just by my side drinking milk. So you will be able to see everything on the screen. They tell you when the camera is inserted, and everything is smoothly done. Obviously gases and everything are created in your intestines, and extra stress and everything, so they offer you gas and air just like during labor to make you relax, because if you panic yourself out during that treatment, everything will be not really beneficial for your state of mind, and you will just panic yourself out. So the best thing is just to enter the room with a clear mind. Everyone is smiley, everyone is happy chappy, even if they are not, they are making you feel extremely comfortable, and this is how it should be in my opinion. So I didn't think that something is gonna hurt me, because colonoscopy doesn't hurt. It feels like something is in your intestines. It's very gentle, but it certainly does not hurt. And whoever I spoke to, I don't think anyone felt pain from colonoscopy. It's a little bit odd, but not painful. And the fact that the camera is traveling through the whole colon, and in my case it went through the whole colon, and she inserted the camera through the small intestine just a little bit to see if potentially I suffer from Crohn's disease as well, because my whole colon was deteriorating from pancreatitis. There was not a single bit of my colon that was not infected by pancreatitis. So the ulcers were really huge, and very painful. My stomach was swollen for many years, which I didn't even know what it was caused by. The whole treatment takes about 30 minutes, especially if this is your first treatment. Everything will be done gently and they will make sure that you feel comfortable as well. Believe me, they want you to feel comfortable. They don't want to have a panicky person lying on that bed with, you know, a dramatic situation. So you just breathe gas and air if you're feeling extremely anxious, and you just fly through it. Do you get results straight away? You certainly do. Obviously you have everything on the screen in front of you, and you know what's happening. I found out straight away that my ulcerative colitis is severe, which means it was pancolitis. Why pancolitis? Why is it called pancolitis? Because colon is in a letter P shape. When the whole colon is infected, it calls, well, it's been named pancolitis. I felt extremely well after colonoscopy because I felt like my intestines were clear, although when the camera was inside you could see bleeding ulcers, which wasn't pleasant to watch, especially that I refused through the whole colonoscopy not to look at the screen because I just freaked out, I think. But I was not forced, but I was asked to look at the screen because they wanted to show me the difference between a healthy intestine and a deteriorating, very, very poorly intestine, which my colon was, but my small intestine wasn't. And it was really impressive to see how potentially in the future my intestine could look again like that. So that was my goal, and I knew how I want my colon to look like. I know it's not a happy chappy bubbly subject, and I know that although certain people struggle for many years with IBD and they still can't reverse anything and the pain is still there, but I strongly recommend really looking deeper into how you nourish yourselves. After it finished, when the camera was slowly going out of my intestines, I had something like 9 biopsies done because certain ulcers looked like they could potentially be cancerous, so they had to take a little sample, and this is what I felt. I felt like a little tickle on the intestines, and that's about it. After the camera comes out, you normally get up, you go back to your room to get changed, and then you see one of the IBD nurses, not the doctors, because the doctors are busy with the rest of the patients. So you go into a little consultation room and you have a chat with an IBD nurse, and she just tells you all the details. And I'm sure if you are an IBD patient, even if you haven't had colonoscopy, you will know certain things about the procedure. So yes, and this was my beginning of journey on my battle with pancolitis. I remember the same night, this is how my consciousness was completely different. The same night when I arrived home, I had a big plate of curry, and not knowing completely what causes the flares, my bleeding became horrid, and just 3 weeks later I was in the hospital, and I was keep on coming back. But for this story I would like to invite you for my next film, for my next video, and I hope this gave you a little bit of a feeling how this could potentially be for you. Remember, it's not painful, it's quite funny, everyone makes jokes, everyone makes you feel confident and comfortable, so there is nothing to worry about in terms of checking out what's happening with your guts, because this is what you want to know. You want to know where to start. If you know what's happening, you can figure out a way of treating it, finding the cause of this illness. Once again, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to see you back soon with my new video. Take care. Bye.